Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It is, of course, the 2nd of the 4th, 2nd of April, 2026, ladies and gentlemen. So, good morning to all you pop pickers out there. Here we are once again on the merry-go-round called the world. Very interesting. So, yes, we've had the old moon landing taking place. It happened overnight. Nobody caught it on camera, but they went there, they landed, they took some samples, had a wee, and then came back again. Apparently, lots of problems with the toilets and the laundry room. So there you go. Very interesting. So good morning, everyone. Graham's in, Sharon's in, Lisa's in, Sheila's in, Ken Jim Tully's in, Christina's in, Teresa Clark's in, Sue's in, Nina's in, Olivia's in. We've also got Sue Allen's in, Jan H is in, Shepherd's in, Kira's in, Aisha Brady's in, Johan Keely's in, Lillian Price is in, Jan Misa, and of course Gradas. So yeah, very interesting today. Today, of course, is Liberation Day, according to Donald Trump. So we shall, of course, wait and see what that actually means, because we're not quite sure. The mainstream media, of course, is just rolling on as it does, and it will, I presume, it will continue to do that until, of course, the plug gets pulled. But anyway, don't expect the BBC to start telling you everything about the conspiracy theories, etc., etc., etc. Because, of course, they don't do that because we're always right, as you well know. Now, it seems as though the BBC knew about Scott Mills, and they kept it quiet. They knew about not Freddie Mercury, Jimmy Savile. They knew about Jimmy Savile. They kept it quiet. I would imagine that there's quite a lot of people at the BBC that are on the cusp of what should we say? The cusp of the delinquents, should we say? And the BBC are keeping very quiet about it. So anyway, we shall wait and see. Now, apparently, the teaching union are calling for all teachers to boycott Nigel Farage. Now, I don't know about you, but isn't a teaching union supposed to be interested in the welfare of the teachers, the working environment, etc., etc.? I mean, when does a teaching union start to dictate to the teachers who they should vote for? I mean, this is getting very, very, what should we say? Communist, wouldn't you say? It doesn't, it's, every day you wake up and you think, what is going on? What is going on? Exactly. So it makes you wonder whether all of these organizations are, of course, as we've always said, are now working together to bring in some form of a communist agenda, not just in the UK, of course, but all across the world. And it certainly is very interesting times. Now, meanwhile, the BBC aired a programme yesterday in regards to the Epstein victims. Some of them had never spoken on camera before. And it was quite interesting. Apparently, the police, the UK police, have now got involved in this because, of course, if a crime has been committed on, English soil, then, of course, it needs to be investigated. But, of course, we're not going to investigate anything else, of course, no. Not quite sure what's happened in the Andrew department, So it is another sort of thing. Now the Optimus 2. The Optimus 2 yesterday was launched in a very unusual manner. If you've watched the footage, okay, if you have watched the footage, you might be led into thinking that this was some form of a helium balloon. I'll leave that one with you. You go and you go and have a look at it and see what you think. But the rhetoric behind this, of course, is they're talking about. I mean, they're talking about flying to the backside of the moon. Now that would be okay, but of course. You can't get out of the atmosphere because of the, because of the firmament, because of the Van Halen belt. Nobody can escape that. Okay, so it's all very. I don't know. When you watch it, you've got to watch it a few times to see, just to see all the bullshit. And then, of course, it was reported that they had toilet problems. They had toilet problems, apparently, and of course, as you well know, they had toilet problems and laundry room fires on, of course, the Gerald R. Ford, if you remember that. It was the worst bit of filming that I have ever seen. However, it's a 10-day mission. Okay, a 10-day mission. That's very interesting, isn't it? We've spoken about 10 days of darkness before, but maybe this could be the actual 10 days of darkness. Who knows? Now, Donald Trump came out and said that. Liberation Day would be starting on the 2nd of April. So we'll wait and see. And of course, it was highly fascinating that the launch yesterday of Artemis 2 just happened to coincide with April's Fool's Day. Now, April Fool's, of course, the reason that it's called April Fool's is because that's the day that you were deceived. New Year's Day is actually was actually yesterday. However, that can also depend on the calendar. I don't know which calendar it is. I can't remember now. One of the calendars is 14 days behind our calendar. I don't know whether it's the Julian or the Gregorian. I can't keep up with it sometimes. But, so this Artemis 2 going to the backside of the moon. They've never been there before. Apparently the last time they went there in 1969, it was quite fascinating. When you now look back and watch the footage, you realise that basically they were hoodwinked. And NASA, of course, take a large amount of money in taxes and revenue from, of course, not only the American taxpayer, but also the worldwide taxpayer. So that's a very interesting little nugget to remember as well. Now, the NHS have come out today and said that they are now going to be giving out fat jabs in regards to obesity and health risks. Okay. Now, this is actually quite interesting because I don't think there's been much study on the on the side effects of the of the fat jabs. Now, we do know that some people have become rather ill after taking the fat jabs, but of course, I would imagine that the majority of people will sort of not really take any notice of that, and and go and get themselves jabbed. And of course, they can do that if they wish. We're not going to stop them, are we? No, of course we're not. And what else have we got? Now, Nigel Farage came out yesterday and said that in the ever-increasing fight against increased costs and the cost of living, air passenger duty is going to be frozen and scrapped by the Farage community. Now, I don't know about you, Nige, but listen, fuel's gone up by fucking an incredible amount of pence per litre. Not kind of sure what we're on at the moment, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, for Farage to think that, this is going to make any difference whatsoever, well, I mean, the man's in cuckoo land. And, of course, it's the same with Rachel Reeves. Now, Rachel Reeves came out yesterday in another amazing bullshit statement that said, well, what she was really saying was, we can't help you. You're on your fucking own. That's what she was basically saying. She's only going to help the migrants. She's only going to help the illegal immigrants. She's only going to help the criminals. She's only going to help the people that are already on benefits. They get a 6% pay rise. I mean, imagine that. Being on benefits and you get a 6% pay rise. And this is all, and Rachel's spouting off about all kinds of stuff. And yet what she failed to tell you was that she's getting a £3,000 expenses account. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but she's also getting a pay rise of £5,000. Now, once again, that was done on April the 1st. Just literally taking the piss, literally. So, yeah, very interesting. Now, Donald Trump has told the UK to get their own oil. Fuck it, get your own oil. We're not fucking bothered. But of course, this is to smash the English colonial rape gangs. When I talk about the English colonial rape gangs, I'm talking about, of course, the rapists that wear suits in Westminster. And of course, all of the globalists as well, the ever increasing globalist massive. So that was interesting. And apparently the king and queen are going to the States. Apparently Donald Trump is now rushing to get the ballroom open so that King Charles is not walking in a foot of water. Watch the water. Watch the water. And, really, really interesting. Now, apparently Celine Dion is back on the scene. Now, Celine doesn't look like she did, of course, 5 years ago, when she looked like a walking skeleton, that was on a diet. Very, very severe, illness. And if you know what illness she had, we don't need to mention it. But anyway, really, really sort of, interesting stuff. And, was the challenger, remember the Challenger back in the day? Was the Challenger a balloon, a helium balloon? Why is it that NASA uses such a lot of helium? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder what's going on there. Now, of course, as you do well know, the Challenger series, which one of the famous ones was the one that blew up live on the camera. Unfortunately, there was nobody in it. And apparently, according to the press, 7 people died, etc., etc. Unbelievably, those 7 astronauts are still alive today. And they are living an NDA life, not allowed to say anything, of course. Some of them are still working within the military. I think there's some teachers as well. And they have been photographed. So there is evidence of the non-Challenger crash, so to speak. So, yeah, very, very, very interesting. We spoke yesterday about Russell J. Gould, the Postmaster General. I'm sure he's working with the people that need to be worked with in order to get all of this shit show stopped. Talking about 1776. Keep your eye on the water. Keep your eye on the HMS Prince of Wales as well. That's an interesting one. And I know a lot of you don't watch the mainstream media, but one of the things to watch out for in the mainstream media is, of course, when the news presenters are wearing black ties and black stuff. That means that a royal announcement is about to hit the fucking airwaves. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I've got plenty to do today, so I'm going to get myself off and crack on, as you do. Hope to see you all again. Later on, and have a great day. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers, bye.